It is possible with CSS animations that you can add multiple animations to elements. So this page is similar to what we were working with before. I have 3 circles, and each of the circles currently are running a different @keyframes rule. These are my @keyframes rule. I have one that is scaling my element. I have one that is dropping the element from the top of the screen to the horizontal rule that we have, and I have one element that is changing the color. So on my 3 elements, the first one is using the grow, the scale animation. The second one is using the drop, and the third one is using colorize. So I get these results right here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add multiple animations so that you can see how this works. To add multiple animations, all you do is you comma separate the values to declare the multiple animations on the same selector. So for instance, if I wanted to have the first element grow and drop and colorize, all I have to do is put a comma, and you can string these together next to each other. I generally like to put the subsequent rule on another line just because I find that it's a little bit easier. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put drop, and we'll say that we want the drop to take 2 seconds. And then let's go ahead and let's add the colorize, and we'll say that we want the colorize to happen in 1 second. If we save now and you watch, you're going to see that the first circle is going to scale, drop, and change color all at the same time. So these animations are happening simultaneously, and that's generally what happens when you apply multiple animations to an element. It might be easy if you're dealing with a bunch of animations to have them actually all appear on a different line and indent them. This might be a little bit easier just for you to see it working, and this obviously is going to work just fine. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to my C2 element, and we're going to alter the order in which these things happen. So I'm going to have the drop, and that's going to take 2 seconds. And we're going to leave forwards, which of course is going to just leave the element in its final resting point instead of bouncing back to the top. Then I'm going to say that I would like to have it do its grow animation. And the grow animation is going to take also 2 seconds. And I'm going to add a delay of 2 seconds onto the grow, which means that it's not going to happen until the drop is completed. So if we save this now, and if you watch the middle circle, you're going to see that it's going to drop first, and then it does its scaling thing. So in this way, I can kind of chain together animations. When I use the delay property, I can chain together animations and have them appear in a subsequent manner. So for instance, if I do my colorize, and now if I want the colorize to appear after the drop and the grow, I would need to add a 4-second delay, because I need to have 2 seconds for the drop, 2 seconds for the grow, and then the colorize. So if we play this now, you can see how it drops, it scales, and then it changes colors. And of course, this is going to go back to its original color because we're not using forward. So if I want that to hold and keep its original color, I can use forwards, and now it's going to stay in the yellow color once it transitions into that shade. So you can really get creative by adding these multiple types of animations, and it just depends how you want this all to play out. If you want this to happen simultaneously, like maybe we would want to add a 2-second delay on the drop so it changes colors and then it's going to drop, and then we could run our grow function, and this one is going to take 1 second, but maybe I also want to do a 2-second delay here as well. So now if we play the animation, and if you watch the third circle, it starts off pink, it's going to change colors, it's going to drop, and then at the same time as it's dropping, it's also scaling, and then it's going to pop back to its initial position. So in this way, you can see that we are getting, again, different types of animations, and we can go ahead and have multiple at keyframes rule that we can call on elements. And you don't have to simply do this with shorthand. You could use animation dash name and then put grow, comma, drop, comma, colorize. And of course you would need to also add animation dash duration and plug in the duration values and then any other properties that you would need to put, but they would be comma separated in this way. So experiment around with this. This is a great way to enhance your pages and get more bang from your CSS animations.